Hello and welcome to Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today's latest video summary of the week's news. Two major stories have dominated the week: the continuing revolution within Britain's biggest estate and letting agency, Countrywide, and the continuing rivalry between Zoopla and On the Market. Let's start with Countrywide. This week, Estate Agent Today carried a series of stories on how its new board and new strategy are changing the face of the company. Amongst other things, we reported that Countrywide may buy an internet startup company to help create some kind of online estate agency in the future. In London, Countrywide is already the biggest agency group in the market, selling homes costing less than £350,000, and now it wants to challenge Foxtons in the mid-market from £350,000 up to £1 million. Countrywide may also consolidate some of its London brands in the process too, and the same thing is going to happen to Countrywide across the UK, where there are currently around 50 different estate agency brands in its group. The new management says there will always be what it calls a house of brands, but that's likely to be only 10 to 20 in the future. That other big story this week was once again the portal wars between On the Market and Zoopla. Estate Agent Today has been contacted by several agents who are using On the Market but feel the number of leads have been very low. One of the big stories between now and Christmas will be whether many agents do not renew their one-year contracts with the portal, or whether many agents with 5-year contracts will try to renegotiate. In the meantime, Zoopla has come out with research showing it's Britain's most recognised property portal amongst the public. It narrowly beats even Rightmove. Now, let's look at sales. House prices are bubbling along well, up 5.3% in England and Wales over the last year, according to the Land Registry. However, transactions are down about 10% on this time last year. And in central London, unlike most of the country, the market is in relatively poor shape, so much so that agents are offering unusual incentives to keep vendors on their books. This week we reported that K&Co has offered to let properties for vendors who are having to wait longer than expected to find buyers. And in the lettings market itself, which seems to be changing increasingly rapidly, there has been another week of new announcements. Firstly, in Wales, it's been announced that a new system called Rent Smart Wales will launch at the end of November. It requires letting agents and landlords to register and, in some circumstances, undergo a limited amount of training to secure their licences. Then there's been more criticism of right to rent. That's the government's requirements for agents and landlords to check the immigration status of tenants. The Association of Independent Inventory Clerks has come out saying that the right to rent pilot project in the West Midlands produced only disappointing results, which may not justify the scheme being rolled out nationwide. But there's been good news in the buy-to-let mortgage market, where new figures show that despite all the increased bureaucracy for the rental sector, there are literally scores of new mortgage products for investors. And the Mortgages for Business company has reviewed the buy-to-let mortgage market and discovered that increased competition has led to much lower fees to landlords who take out a mortgage. And still with the letting sector, the best news of all, demand for rental property is on the increase. That's the view of the National Landlords Association, which says almost half of its members have reported more demand from tenants. The biggest increases are in South West England, South East England, and the London commuter belt, a guide for potential investors to head to. Well, that's it for this week. If you want to check the status of what's happening in our industry, check in every day to read the online news from Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today. We carry breaking news every day, and you can also subscribe to our email newsletter, which gives the up-to-date morning headlines every weekday. Thank you for watching.